Imagine yourself so motivated that you cannot stop working towards your goals. I want that for you. So I've used my 8 years of focus and motivation experience to pinpoint the one chain that holds most people back from achieving this state at will. There's a chemical in your brain that literally determines how you perceive the world. And if you're controlled by this chemical, then it will destroy you. But if you learn how to master it, you become unstoppable. The chemical I'm talking about here is dopamine. Your dopamine baseline is the average level of dopamine that you have in your brain at any given time. Remember this: where your baseline is will determine your average level of motivation, focus, and enjoyment in your life. If we look at the marvels of history, we can see that your default level is to have a high baseline, or else nothing would have been built. That sounds great. But we have a problem. Modern society has learned to absolutely hack this system. With every click, swipe, fast food, drug, you are spiking your dopamine. And when rapidly spiking your dopamine, your baseline is being pushed down. And it takes more and higher spikes to reach the same level. You may even go so low that nothing is fun or exciting anymore, and that's a shitty place to be. You're slowly but surely erasing the chance of ever fulfilling that potential that you have within you. But on the flip side, the higher your dopamine baseline is, the more motivated and focused you will feel. With an extremely high dopamine baseline, you could even be motivated by just sitting there and staring at the wall. And here comes the actual great news. You can adjust where your default baseline is. So stop holding yourself back. Having a high dopamine baseline is absolutely necessary to be even minutely competitive in this world. Before, I was an unfocused and unmotivated mess. But then I spent 8 years working on how I could raise my dopamine baseline. And I'm going to give you a system right now where I condense those 8 years into something that you can implement immediately to start to take back control of your motivation and start to raise your baseline right now. We actually have an internal detection system that tells us when we are raising our dopamine baseline. If you become a master over this detection system, then the world is yours. This system is something you know about, and it's very simple. It's called boredom. But wait, I'm not telling you to just be extremely bored all the time. I promised you a systematic approach of how we can raise your dopamine baseline, and that's what I'm going to give you. You see, whenever you feel bored, you have a natural instinct to rid yourself of that boredom, and that is amazing if you lived 100 years ago. Back then, it may have driven you to discover something new or create something amazing, but now you can just pull up your phone and lie in your own doom scrolling for hours into oblivion. But luckily, we have tactics to outsmart this. We are going to surf boredom, staying on the edge of boredom and increasing your baseline as time goes by. And for this, we use something called the Dopamine Tier List. The Dopamine Tier List looks like this. It is telling you when you are either raising or decreasing your dopamine baseline. It is simple, but watch out for this massive pitfall. Moving 1 or at most 2 steps on the list is crucial. If you do not do this, you will activate the yo-yo effect. When you are overstimulated and you feel like you're regressing in your life, everything feels bad, it doesn't feel good, so you want to do the exact opposite. This is why you lay in your bed and scroll or something like that, and then suddenly you decide that now you're going to meditate for 3 hours or go and work out for a long period of time because you want to feel better, you want to feel like you have momentum. But just think about going to the gym, not being trained for a long time, and then lifting weights heavy for 3 hours. Will you be able to show up to the gym tomorrow? We want you to be a consistently motivated beast that goes towards your goals. And if you activate the yo-yo effect too many times, you will just bounce around by taking no action and taking a lot of action and just going up and down like that. Look at the list and determine where you are usually spending the most time. If you watch a lot of YouTube, I would say that you are around here. And if you watch a lot of short form content, you are around here. Whenever you're feeling like you're decreasing your dopamine baseline by detecting that you're overstimulating your brain, then look at the activity you are doing and then just do one activity above that. For example, if you are watching short YouTube videos, then you can watch longer educational ones. If you're watching short form algorithmic content like reels or shorts, then you can watch a longer YouTube video. If you are just looking to relax at the end of the day, you can watch a longer movie without checking your phone instead of being on your phone and just jumping around, spiking your dopamine over and over and over again. You can accumulate to watching a whole movie without checking your phone. And then suddenly you can sit there and you can read a book for hours, or you can sit and work motivatedly on your work for hours without feeling the need to be distracted. When you are able to do this, you know that you have raised your dopamine baseline. But then you can just raise it more by doing more boring activities. But these boring activities will start to become fun for you. But if you want to know 5 specific steps you can use to reduce your screen time by up to 90%, you can click here.